I'm going to take you through one of many different specific back workouts that I've designed for one of my VIP Platinum clients. Hey guys, I'm Mark McKillier and I'm the senior trainer with Abs After 40. You're going to get to see what a Platinum client goes through on a typical day. However, I want you to remember that I change it up week after week after week. This is just one of about 24 completely different back workouts that I designed for my Platinum clients. I've already done a bunch of warm-ups, okay? So we're not going to waste your time showing you all these little simple warm-up moves I do. I'm just going to shut up. You're going to watch me do the exercise just like I would at the gym. I'm going to go hardcore and I'm going to narrate over the video so you can hear me describe what's going on later. So let's get to it. All right guys, the first exercise are cable pull downs. Now I want you guys to notice how I adjust that knee bar before I started the exercise. I don't want that thing too loose because I don't want the bar pulling me up off the seat. We're going to be targeting our lats with this exercise. However, the secondary muscle groups are going to be our teres muscles, our traps, our rhomboids. Notice the form, the tempo, the speed at which I'm controlling the weight on the downward movement and, just as importantly, on the upward movement. You don't see me yanking the bar down. I'm leaning slightly backwards. As you can see by my face, by the time I get to the 12th rep, it is really difficult. I was close to failure, but this is just the first set. And remember, we got to do 2 more sets of this. We're not showing you, but on the second and third sets, I was pretty much out of gas by the time I reached my 12th rep. We're moving over to the bent over barbell rows. I really like to use a weight belt when I do this exercise. Notice how tight I pull that belt. I put it right above my hip bone and just below my rib cage, and it relieves a lot of the stress on our lower back. Be sure and lift the bar off the ground with the bar close to your shins, and then once you get to the top, bend over so that the bar is no lower than your knees. We're targeting our traps and rhomboids. Again, there's tons of little muscles in our back that are also going to be assisting. As I'm raising and lowering the bar, notice how close I keep it to my thighs. This is one exercise where form is critical. You can actually hurt yourself if you don't do it correctly. I want you to keep a really straight back here, guys. You will even feel like your back is arched. That is the correct form, and that will keep you from getting injured. I think I could have done better form here by holding the bar at the top of the movement for just a short half count. We're moving over to bent over cable pull downs. We're targeting our lats, but also the teres major and minor. Those are the muscle groups right under your armpits, and those are the muscles that, if we grow them correctly, make us look like we have a really wide back. Look how straight my back is. You're going to feel like your back is arched, but in reality, it's just straight. Another thing you're going to notice here is my core. You can't help but engage your core during this entire exercise. Also, check out the range of motion here, guys. I'm letting my arms go all the way to the top above my head, and then I'm pulling them down until the rope touches my thighs. Once again, slow, controlled movement up and down. And remember, guys, if you don't have a rope, that's fine. You can do this exercise with a bar. We're moving on, guys, to the deadlift. Anytime you're using a quote-unquote substantial amount of weight, I highly recommend you use a weight belt because it's going to lower the stress on your lower back. Always start this exercise with a mixed grip, which actually cancels the rotation of the bar and it makes it easier to grip. This is a huge compound exercise. It works tons of muscle groups, but we're going to be targeting our middle and upper back. But remember, we can't help but use a bunch of secondary muscles with this group. So we're going to be getting probably a dozen or more muscles at one time with this one exercise. The correct form here, guys, is to keep that bar as close to your body as possible, all the way up and all the way down to avoid injury to your lower back. So our 5th exercise is shrugs. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that from exercise to exercise, I'm actually trying to target slightly different areas of the back. So one exercise, I'll be targeting traps. The next exercise, I'll be targeting lats, and then back to traps. I'm changing the focus from exercise to exercise to give certain groups a few minutes of rest in between. Form is very important with shrugs. I want you guys to hold the weight at the top of the movement for about a 1 or 2 count and then lower it. Don't jerk the weight up, and do not use your legs to help assist you with the weight. I see people using incorrect form on this all the time. Another thing is, do not rotate your shoulders at the top of the movement. Just bring the weight straight up and straight down. Let's move on over to one arm rows. This is a great compound exercise because it utilizes so many different muscles at the same time. Notice the form I'm using on this, guys. I'm not yanking the dumbbell up. I'm pulling it up nice and slow, and then I'm controlling the weight on the downward movement. Another thing, I'm bringing the dumbbell slightly rearward. I actually want it to almost touch my thigh at the top of the movement. And one quickie here, guys, look how easy it is to switch arms. You do not have to roll the dumbbell to the other side of the bench. I'm trying to keep my upper body fairly still, so I'm not twisting and yanking the weight up and down. I'm actually trying to slowly pull and slowly lower. I don't need a belt on this exercise because my upper body is being supported by the bench. At the end of each set, you're going to notice that I'm really out of breath. You will be too. And that is because your core is engaged throughout the entire movement. Every single rep, you can't help but flex your core. Okay guys, you just saw a complete back workout from one of my custom platinum training programs. Now, that just happened to be week 3 of a 12-week program. If you stick with it long enough, you're going to see that we add a lot of complexity to all of our exercises, all of our workout programs through the entire platinum training cycle. So later on, weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, we start getting into drop sets, supersets, and rest pause sets. The intensity really cranks up. But even though we just did 3 sets of 12 reps on every exercise today, it was still a really good all-around back exercise. Hit all the muscle groups of the back, and that is how you're going to create that big V taper. All right, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we really want to hear from you. And also, don't forget, always stick with it, guys, and never, ever give up on yourselves.